Well, obviously, obviously thrilled with the opportunity that we've got here, and really proud of our kids, and I guess that's just the program and the alumni and everybody involved. That's constantly cheering for us. I think it finally hit me this morning. I was doing an interview with the Big 12 guys, and they asked me, "Hey, what's it feel like to be a team who's going?" I think that's the moment it kind of hit me. It kind of got me. So we're excited. We are not afraid. I can tell you that. We will play just the way we played. We learned a lot. I learned a lot this weekend as a head coach. I felt like on the second game, I coached and we played like a team that had something to lose for the first time, and we recognized that. We made the adjustment on the third day, and we played like the team that had nothing to lose. And that's the same approach that we're going to take. I'm going to remind them of that. We're going to get out here. We took yesterday off. We're going to work out here today hard. Got our lift in and make it a normal week. And normal will be the word we continue. We're going to just try to be the hammers that we've been all year, and we're going to just continue down the sea of consequence and not worry about what could happen, but just make things happen and just deal with those things as they come along. And I think that's why this team has taken on the identity that it has, that they can come back and all those fancy words and all that fancy stuff. But this is a really good team. We're going to go play against really good teams. That's why they're all left, and should be a blast.
Coach, you've been saying since before the season, Oklahoma City, exit 132 is your destination. I think this past weekend you showed a lot of people what you've been saying all year long is that this is a team that can come back from anything. It's showed who the Cowgirls are.
Yeah, I mean, we purposely drove our team into there on the way to one of our trips, and we circled around there, and I can remember a few of them had perplexed looks, like, why are we in here? Why are we driving into this place? And I just stood up and just told them, if you don't dream about this stuff, if you truly don't believe that you can do this, it will not happen. And that's a direct line from Coach Holder. So we made the choice to get that done. I put out that tweet. I got a lot of grief from that tweet at that time. A lot of grief from a lot of people that are down south. It doesn't matter. That stuff's all what that's all about. But that was risky, in a way. You never know how things are going to work out. But I've been telling all of you that have been around here a bunch that this team is capable of this. It's going to take everything that we've got. Like we can't not play well and get into this tournament. We had yet to play good softball. We're doing that now. Complete games, what I mean. We played good the whole year, but we're playing more complete games, which is what you've got to do this time of year. Clean for the most part. It's cool that comes back, and it's a cool kind of thought of, hey, we brought you in here, we told you this, and this team is bought in, but they got bought in last summer when they were all here. Most schools across the country are at home, take the summer off, get their workouts in, but these kids in my years here, they've never left. It's kind of become the culture, the Cowgirl way. They stay here all summer long. They train with Coach Wes. They work out on their own, hitting wise, throwing wise, because we don't have the luxury of what basketball has and have the summer stuff or what football has. So they have to do their own thing, and they do that. And that's when this kind of stuff starts. That's when these type of teams start coming together.
No, it's not the first time, but what's it like having all your connections to Florida kind of coming into this?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm curious if Tim will call me or not. Last time we played, he didn't call me, so I anticipate the same thing. I talked to him over the weekend. He was gracious enough to talk to me about a lot of stuff, and he called me after, or texted me after our first win, and he called me after the second game that we had lost, and he hadn't seen the score yet that we had lost, and I was hoping that you guys had won. I was hoping that I was going to get to talk to you. And then when we won, I called him first. I just wanted to. I just wanted to tell him thanks, and we texted, so he's been great. I'm not sure if we'll talk. I've talked to Eric Thomas. We've got a bunch of our buddies who are coming back, so it'll be cool to have all those guys there. I can't wait to see who wears what, who's wearing the Gator stuff, who's wearing the OSU stuff. I'm sure they'll be wearing both shirts and hats from both schools, so it'll be cool. But it's just, I'm kind of glad that I've already had this chance to play Tim, so this is not the first time. I text his wife. She texted me. I texted her back, and I told Sam, I said, I can't wait for to shake hands. That's going to be awesome. So that's one of the things I am looking forward to as a head coach. I'm really looking forward to the press conference with Coach Murphy, Coach Gasso, and Tim. I talked to Patty actually last night. She was gracious enough to kind of talk to me about some things, and she said, hey, she goes, this is going to be weird. She goes, I'm old enough to be all your moms. And I just kind of laughed, and I said, I might just walk in and say, hey, Mom, but I'm excited about going through all of this. All of those guys have been this place so many times, and it's my first time as a head coach. So those kind of things are kind of neat, you know what I mean, and things you don't forget. And but in the bottom line, the most important thing is we're here. I'm going to enjoy this, and I'm going to enjoy it with my friends and my family and my team. My two little kids, they're thrilled. They can't wait to see Tim's kids and run around like they've always done. So it'll be cool.
You guys have always had great crowds and great support all year long. College softball's biggest stage, only an hour down the road. How nice is it to know that you can have a large Cal softball contingency down there?
Yeah, that should be crazy. When we got that final out, after I kind of got through my stuff, the first thing I thought was, how am I going to take care of everyone? And it's impossible. I just need our fans to do what they've always done and show up and be loud and be rowdy and back their trucks up and tailgate. If they'll let them back up to the wall, I'm all in. I don't know if they'll let them, but if they will, I'm all in. I'll vote for it. But if they can't, let's get them there early. Let's be loud. It's going to be cool. I don't have any idea. I think it'll be awesome, but I can't wait till we walk in. That's one of the coolest things there is when the other game ends and you walk in and the crowd goes crazy. And I can't wait for our kids to experience that. That's a cool thing. You can't replicate it anywhere. You just don't. It's just a different thing. The fans are just on edge. They're excited. They're crazy. They love it. And I expect we'll have record crowds. They'll try to jam as many people in there with us playing first, and obviously the top seed in OU playing the next game. There's a lot of Florida fans that come out of the woodworks for this thing. I was always amazed when I was there and how many people were wearing Gator stuff. And they're fans of the Gator. They're fans of the culture that Tim has. And then you have OU, who we all know about that. And then you've got us back again, and man, we've got some good people in there. They'll be out there.
Was there a period of time before Tim hired you that you didn't know if you were going to have the opportunity to coach at this level?
You mean before I got there?
Before.
Yeah, I was pretty content, actually, when I was at Tennessee as the director of ops. I was like, it's pretty good, you know what I mean? And I remember Tim came for my 40th birthday, surprised me at Tennessee, and it was really cool. And he told me, he goes, you're back into this coaching deal. I know you're the director of ops here, but you're back in. It'll be a little easier for me to hire you now than as the grounds guy, right? So, and he goes, so if something pops, I want you to really think hard. And I was like, hey man, I'm having a blast, and if it happens, I think I'd have to think long and hard. And so obviously that conversation just ended. I mean, you're not even thinking about anything. I'm trying to help Tennessee win, and he's going on a stretch run, and they were the number one team in the country for most of that year. I think you go through it at times where you're just like, man, I'm 40. You know what I mean? I'm a man. And you just don't know, because the older that you get and the farther that you get away from, from that, it gets harder. So my path isn't the normal path, but you got good people around you, and you've been around, and so the answer, I'm going all over the place here, but the answer, I guess, is I don't know. I didn't really put a lot of stock in it. I was happy. I was back doing what I always thought I could do, and even when I was doing my ground stuff, I was happy. I loved what I was doing. Did it for a long time with great people, but I just started, as I got a little bit older, I started thinking to myself, man, I think I was born to be a coach. And I just got away from that, you know what I mean? And I guess my path, I just made a weird turn. Not the wrong turn, because it's helped me be who I am now. But I just made a turn that most people that want to coach don't make. So.
Do you remember what the first couple of days on the job here were like?
Crazy. I know I can recall a lot. It was my mom's birthday, the day I got hired, June 13th. I was in Tennessee recruiting, and it's a big tournament that goes on there. It's called the Scenic City. It's one of my favorite towns there in Chattanooga to go and do that stuff. It's a great place. And I'd already interviewed, and I knew I was going to be getting a call at some point, yes or no. I thought it was yes, but you don't know until you get that call. And Coach Holder called me, and man, he talked to me for 20 minutes before he said anything, and all he was doing is telling me how great all these other people were. And I was like, just tell me I don't have the job. That's honestly how I felt. I was like, this is a waste of my time right now. Like, if you're not going to hire me, I don't need to be buttered up. Remember, I'm 40. So, so anyways, he just said, but hey, you're the best guy. And I just said, I'm in. He goes, well, why don't you talk to everyone involved? I said, I'm in, I'm coming. And I called Tim first and told him that I had decided to take it. Hard talk. Got back with the people here, got all of our girls' phones. I left there and went right to Atlanta to watch a tournament there. I didn't think it was fair to stay at that tournament where I was wearing my Florida stuff. So there was another one that was going down there. There was also a kid there I wanted to go and see that I knew that we needed to try and get. And she chose Georgia, so that sucked. But I started making phone calls. I got to my hotel room. I started calling every one of our kids one at a time. And the kids here, one at a time. And I just told them, hey, I know that you didn't choose me, but I chose you. And if you don't want this opportunity, I'll let you go. If you want it, I promise you I'll do everything in my power just to gain your trust. So I had all of those talks. I spent just time and time on the phone. Started doing my coaching staff, and just didn't stop for 3 years. Honestly, did not. I don't think that I stopped. It really, it was hard. It was fun. It was consuming. Doing this is like, you lose a lot. Like, I lose time with my kids, but they get things that most kids don't. You know what I mean? So it's like this give and take that you got to work through. And I'm not sure I handled all of it right, but I have learned. I have learned through the process. So the first few days were a whirlwind, like just going. Got to figure out how I'm going to get to Florida again and get back here and get moved and all that stuff. So I just committed to OSU and went all in, and knew we had a lot of work to do here, but knew with the vision that's here that this was going to happen.
Was there one thing you knew right away you were going to have to change to get where you wanted to go?
Oh man, this office, what you see up here on all these walls, there was nothing up here. There was a Michelle Smith jersey on this wall over here. There was maybe a Melanie Roche jersey up, who most of you probably don't even know. You may, if you do, that's awesome. But none of this was up here. None of these pictures. The carpet was tattered. There wasn't a nice desk when you walked in. The presentation here was not very good. And when the presentation is not very good, I don't know how your kids think you're going to be very good. So in our first 60 days, I mean, we had this place painted, new carpet, put the wood floors in, revamped the team room the first time, made this more presentable, more professional, changed out some furniture. There's a lot of clutter going on in here. We got rid of a lot of stuff, put a couch in my room, took the table out. I wanted there were couches in the locker room. I took them out, took the TV down, because I wanted them to be hanging out in the team room, not the locker room. I wanted them to enjoy all that, but I wanted to hear the conversations in the team room here, and my office door was open, and I wanted them to see that and to feel all that. So the most important things for us was putting all this history up so that these girls could walk in. It's really hard to get onto our walls. Like on this left side, it's not easy to get on our walls here. We have history. All Americans, Olympians, World Series teams.